Hello, my name is AravaVT and I am a variety streamer on Twitch and YouTube, and today we're going to be going over the upcoming game Dune Awakening. So I was fortunate enough to be able to play in the beta last weekend, and I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts and experiences and why I am definitely looking forward to the full release coming out in June. So first of all, the character creation in this game is fabulous. You can even adjust the height and the muscle mass for characters, which I truly appreciate. I do like it when games give us a very diverse way to make our characters. All in all, with character creation, I was extremely satisfied, and the character did come out looking amazing. Once you get into the main story, it was very easy to follow through the tutorial and the tutorial area, and what I was kind of concerned about was because this is a building survival multiplayer game and you are on a server, I was really worried about, being able to find a place to build and having all the spots already taken. But fortunately, based on how their servers seem to work, is there is an overall world. However, within each of these worlds, there are multiple instances. So it looks like you will be able to have plenty of room and not worry too much about overcrowding. Plus, there is a game mechanic where your old bases get destroyed, which will definitely allow for the creation of new bases for newer players. But as far as the gameplay goes and gathering your materials and stuff, I really enjoyed the mini game that was like the rock crushing game. It gave you little patterns on it to crush the rocks to get your materials. I actually really like that. It's much better than, the ye old timey pickaxe and things like that. It was a nice fresh take in my mind. I hadn't seen this in any other survival crafter that I've played personally, and I really did enjoy the collecting mini game of it. And basically, there's not really much food as far as the early game goes. You're really just worried about your water resource, as the Dune series explains. And the cool thing is you get it from people. So yes, you're going around harvesting materials from people to help yourself survive in your base. And like I said, the tutorial and what we got to was really nice and linear, and I really enjoyed it. However, you could spend as much time making your base as you'd like. However, I would say I wouldn't spend too much time on your starting base because, as we found out after we'd already built our palace, you need to destroy it to continue the story. So yeah, don't get too attached to your first base. But I did like all of the materials that you had the options for, and it looks like as you progress through the game, you will get more building options as well as more cosmetic items for your house, which is really nice. And that brings me into the actual housing system itself. So if you've ever played Rust, it feels like the building system is very Rust-based. Well, number one, with how the pieces are laid out and how they are designed, as well as the mechanic for upkeeping your base. So you have to collect fuel cells in order to power your base to keep it protected from being destroyed. That being said, in the early game, this may be not true in the later games. Naturally, I haven't played it yet because the game isn't out yet. But at least in the early game stages, you're building in a PvE area, so it's not like someone can come in and destroy your base and take your stuff. You are able to allow people in. You can have it totally public if you wanted to. And this is what I really, really like about this building system, is that for every single chest, for every single machine, for every single doorway, you can give it permissions for a certain level of people. So your permissions are personal, co-owner, associate, and then your guild, and then public, naturally. So you can have it set up however you want on a chest by chest, machine by machine basis. So if you wanted to, you could make it to where your doors are open, anyone can come in and see all the cool stuff that you built, but they can't actually interact or touch anything. So I really like that system because I'm not a fan of Rust, big surprise, because yeah, like the fact that people just come in and take your stuff and camp outside was my least favorite part about that game. I did enjoy the building and the crafting of it, but the fact that people spawn camp your doors as you exited to murder you was horrible. So hopefully when we get to the end game, that's not going to be kind of the same thing here. But yeah, so I really did enjoy the building system, and the combat was super fun as well. So I personally played the swordsman, and yeah, I had I had like a charge attack, and I did enjoy the melee combat, and very much so. And it looks like throughout this game, you are going to be forced into at least some sort of melee, as people have protective shields that can only get through by being stabbed. So yeah, I personally enjoy the swordsman class. I didn't play any of the other classes, so I will see upon release how that goes. But it looks like, honestly, changing your classes doesn't look that difficult, and you unlock them naturally throughout the game and the gameplay. Now, coming into the world, the environments are really cool. They did a nice job with the texturing. I enjoyed the aesthetics of everything. It felt really fun to play. The worms can be kind of juked a little bit. You can kind of you can bait them, and you can do some funny things. But for the most part, the mechanics of the worms and the NPCs are really good. I will say, like, their NPC mechanics are actually kind of crazy good with their tactics and stuff, because there was one time I was fighting an NPC. I swear it was a person. It was so good at combat, or I was just so bad at combat. But anyway, it felt like I was fighting an actual person. They use the same abilities that we have access to, and I personally think that's really cool in a game, to have your NPCs kind of be like on a player level. So I did really enjoy that as well. Once again, we didn't get too far in the game. It was the beta, but I really do look forward to this game. I think it's going to be a great survival crafter. The guild aspect of it has me really excited, with a full-fledged social system. So that I'm really looking forward to as well. There's nothing worse than finding a game like this and then not being able to play with your friends. So being able to have guilds and stuff for a very small amount of cash in the game, like, it's really, really nice, and I definitely do look forward to playing it with all of my friends, and yeah, I'm super excited. So, as far as the negatives of the game, I'm the bug finder. Yeah, I found a lot of bugs. I got stuck in a lot of places. Luckily, anytime I ever had an issue, I would just, like, log out and log back in, and it would basically fix itself. I had a couple of rendering issues, but that was not too bad. It was funny. But yes, overall, I think that it's going to be a great game. I'm really looking forward to playing it, and I hope to see you all there as well. So, if you guys have any comments or any questions about the game, please leave them below, and I look forward to seeing you all in Dune.